Air Force people the world over love a party. Any and every excuse is used for a get-together, and the SAF is no exception. On the 5th of July 1996, one squadron hosted a reunion at Air Force Base Hoedspruit to celebrate the 21st anniversary of Mirage F1 service in the South African Air Force. The gathering, like most Air Force activities, was well organized and well attended. Old jet jocks and spanner tiffies arrived from all over the country to observe the flying display with professional interest and partake of the golden beverages with abandon. Whilst enjoying the evening function, I realized that a vital element was missing from the festivities. General Bossie Heiser, the archetypal party lover, had recently died, and his presence was sorely missed. He had been the father of the F1 project, and with his passing, a chapter of history was lost. Bossie had a marvelous brain, which was just as well because his handwriting was appalling. Consequently, precious anecdotes were stored only in his head and not on paper. Being of the old school that believes military history and traditions are the very essence of military service, I decided to document the F1 history before more aviators departed on their last flight. While the task has been laborious, it has been filled with pleasure. Both the AZ and CZ derivatives of the Mirage F1 were beautiful aircraft. This fact becomes abundantly clear when one talks at length to those who flew and maintained them. The presence of the aircraft in the inventory united these people into a spontaneous F1 fan club, and it is the people around whom the proud history of the aircraft has been built. No attempt has been made to recolor or desensitize events to enable them to suit the new dispensation in the country. Events and operations have been recorded as they occurred in the 3 decades covering the aircraft service life. Like paying one's TV license, it is the correct thing to do. Research is continuous, but at some stage a line has to be drawn to allow a book like this to be completed. If therefore errors or omissions do exist, the fault is clearly mine. My plea in mitigation is that it was not done intentionally. Among the appendices, I have included a list of all SAF aircraft losses as a direct result of enemy fire under the title, "One of our aircraft is missing," a statement that still today sends shivers up my spine. The reason for including this appendix in a book on the F1 is purely my indulgence. During my research, I have read Angolan and Cuban documentation wherein they claim to have shot down scores of South African fixed-wing aircraft and helicopters. For example, in their glossy coffee table book, FAPLA, Bulwark of Peace in Angola, they state, from October 1987 to March 1988, Angolan anti-aircraft defense shot down more than 40 aircraft and helicopters from the South African Air Force. I hasten to add the Angolans did at least have the decency to print at the back of this good-looking book, "This book was manufactured by the Agitation and Propaganda section of the National Political Department of FAPLA." Hopefully my appendix will dispel once and for all this type of manufactured propaganda, because, as a historian, it really agitates me. In the book I have included 2 short stories, both of which were published in the SAF safety magazine, Niala. I wrote the introduction, "They are flying again in the morning," to while away the long hours spent on operational standby during Operation Daisy in 1981. I tried to capture the essence of wartime flying from the pilot's point of view. Appendix 9, A Day on the Flight Line, was written by Warrant Officer W.J. Sparky du Plessis to cover the same situation, but this time from the ground crew's perspective. His story is brilliant and displays extraordinary insight. Together, these tales encapsulate border war operations as experienced by the men in the Air Force. Finally, the title. I make no apologies for this. Vlamgat is an Air Force term of endearment for jet fighter pilots. The literal, much watered-down translation from the Afrikaans is burning backside, indicating the flaming jet pipe at the tail of the aircraft. Finally, like the country, Vlamgat has been transformed. I have to pay tribute and offer my thanks to Greg McEwen and all those involved in this endeavor in reproducing this book in ebook manner. I've never seen an ebook before, but I'm excited at the prospect of all that has been done to keep Vlamgat going. Thank you.